Alright, asking for a uninstall video, so we're going to remove the badge from the back and apply the new one with the LEDs on the back of it. So the tools you'll be needing for the install and uninstall is glue gun for the adhesive, some kind of tape, frog tape or painter's tape, I prefer frog tape, some kind of crimpers to cut the wire cutters. I just use these because I use tie-ins in the video. I'm sorry, I use the splicers in the video. The tie-ins, you're going to need a set of pliers to push that pin down. Some kind of old gift card is perfect. I hold on to these things because they're great plastic tools. And one of these bad boys you can get from Walmart, Advanced Auto Parts. It's a very, very thin wedged pry tool. They're found in just about anything from applying like dope to body panels to separating pieces. I mean, they sell bigger versions of these. I found a smaller one, so I don't have to hold it with two hands because I got little man hands. And then of course some kind of heat, hair dryer or heat gun. I have the playing cards because there were times that I couldn't get under with this. So I did find that a playing card worked very well. You just end up going through about 5 to 10 of them because they bend up as you're trying to cut around the edges of the badge to get it off. But these do work if you can't find one of these gift cards from your wallet or whatever, the kids, once you end up spending it. But these are the tools that you'll need for the install. Any other questions, drop them down in the comments and let me know. First thing we're going to start with is some tape. You can either use frog tape or painter's tape. You're going to want to go along the sides of the badge so we don't scratch up the paint.
Go.
This can be done on a clean or dirty car. Just make sure you get underneath the edge line and put it all the way around. Make sure it's nice and flat. Push it down. Get to. Next, you're going to have to apply heat. I prefer a hair dryer rather than a heat gun for the simple fact that you can burn these, so you want to keep it moving as much as possible, because you can ruin the badge by heating it too much. You're going to use this until it's dry to the touch, and it almost burns you when you touch the front of it. Another approach you can take for older badges is open up the trunk and apply heat from the other side. Okay, pause it. Now, I'm going to go at it on the inside. You can see where the wires are up here where it was already pre-installed, and on the other side is a nub. That nub is your placement hole that you'll see on the other side when the badge comes off, and you'll have that stub left on your new badge when you go to install it. So right now I'm just aiming the heat gun at the back of the trunk, and this will heat up that area where the glue is on the other side and help break it down. Then you can take your pry tool, get underneath, and start to work at the glue. Once you get that in there, I like to use a gift card and use that as well to kind of saw at it. You could hear it break up as you get at it. Move it around and roll it. This is going to be a little harder on an older car because the glue has sat, but it's the same concept where you're going to use a card to kind of scrape and push away the adhesive on the car. You're going to find the pin on the right hand side, just make your way around it and work the other side. Get your fingers down in there and pull that bad boy off. It is hot. There we go. We have the leftover adhesive from the old badge, and everything is still intact. No bends, no burns. And that is the OEM adhesive still on the car. Next thing we're going to do is clean this up and get it ready for placement of your new badge. So I've scraped off by hand as much as the bulk as I possibly could. When you're done, you get giant balls of goo. So next up is grab some goof off. No, sorry, goo gone. Do not use goof off. Use this. Goof off will take off paint. I like to soak this inside of the car, especially because if it's clean, you don't want this on the car because it's kind of oily. And then press it on there. You can soak it and directly get it on there. Just try not to let it drip all over the place. And you're going to want to let this soak for maybe 15 minutes. And it'll break that glue off. And we can go back at it. Fingernail is your best tool ever. It's natural, it's pliable. You don't have to worry about scraping paint because you're going to put something right over top of this and you're not going to scrape the paint off. But like I said, if you want to make this easy, let it soak. The longer the better, and it comes right off. We're going to fast forward to that time. We're back. We got all the glue off. You take the tape off. I just left it on there to help catch the goo gone so it didn't drip all over the bumper. Give it a wipe down. You're going to want to put wax after you put the badge on because this does strip your wax off. But we got a nice clean spot to put our new badge on. And one of the first things you want to do is get a clean cloth. And get some rubbing alcohol. We need to get that goo off where we're installing. A couple passes with some clean pieces. I use microfibers for everything. And she is ready for install. We have our badge. This is going to be your safety tape that comes with it, so you're not pressing it directly on it. And we're going to stick the wires in the left hole, the nice big one, and you can see those holes on the inside of the trunk with the lining off. here, and here. The one on the right is where you're going to stick the stud and line it up how you want. Once we get the wire in, we'll go back and video for the install and connection to the daytime running lights or parking lights, whichever one you prefer. So we'll peel the adhesive backing off of the badge. Take a dry piece. Make sure we're not seeing any smears of oil. Feed the wire in to the trunk. All the wire. And then you're going to line it up by first sticking the post into the tiny little hole here. And then eyeing up the level of the badge and just press the entire thing up. You want to make it really easy, there's usually a line around your badge that you can use to put it where the other one was. So it's nice and even. Alright, so now to the wiring. We've already taken off the lining off of the trunk earlier. And we're going to take the wire and tap it into either your choice of the parking lights, which I had done previously, or if you're like me and have a brake light on the wing, that was my first attempt, but that comes on when you push the brake pedal. Brake pedal connection is here. The black and blue. The wire then leads to the light that's inside of the fin. The other wire is here, which is your parking light, which leads in, and you have a black and blue and a solid black. That's going to be your positive and negative leads. As you can see, I've used wire tie-ins that use the existing wire and clamp over that, and you feed in the new wire into those and push them together. It opens up and looks like this. So this bar would be up, and you feed both in so it goes through, and you can press the bar down with a pair of pliers, and it squeezes and pinches these two together to make a connection with that bar. I have already done this on my previous install, so I'm going to use that same wire that I did before, and I'm just going to tie into that one. So like I said, the blue and the red are going to be your positive, and the black is going to go with your black and red, which is your negative. So that lead would go to these that you're going to have to clean off from the testing. I like to put a little end on them. On both sides. So maybe we'll just clip these here. And it's up to you if you want to clean this down a little bit or leave it long. I'm just going to leave it long, therefore if I want to take it off again or anything, it's up in here. No one's going to see it. It's going to be behind the lining when it goes back on. And if you wish to tighten it up, just bring it up here and zip tie it like I did with the other ones. Cleans it up a little bit if you're OCD like myself. So we're going to go for the first connections here. And we're going to use a simple connector. Down. The other side in there. Oh. Down. Make sure they're touching. And before you do the finish, I like to give it a test. So this is the parking light. So my parking lot toggle is already on, so when I lower this and put the key in, you should see the badge light. Nothing. So we gotta make sure the wires are right. As you can see, the parking lights are on, but the badge is not. Push that loose wire in more. So they're touching, and we know that we have contact, so we can tie them down. And there we go.